Hello and welcome to the Sport for Business Daily. We're joined today by Stephen Rochford, an employee of AIB, an ambassador for the AIB Goal Mile, an occasional inter-county manager with Mayo, and a current backroom team member with Donegal. You're very welcome to Sport for Business, Stephen.
Thanks very much for having me, Rob.
It's an absolute pleasure. Before we get into chatting about the Goal Mile, let's just touch on the inter-county scene at the moment. It's been a tough couple of years, but we've finally got a new name on the trophy, and it came from Ulster. Wasn't quite Donegal though. How are things going with the Donegal setup at the moment?
Yeah, so we've just returned to our pre-season in the last week. It's good. A couple of familiar faces in the squad. A couple of guys then that maybe had a longer club championship or will be phased back into the group over the next couple of years, and then or certainly next couple of weeks, and then obviously a sprinkling of new faces who are eager to impress and mad for road. So good environment, loads of energy amongst the group, and looking forward to the year ahead.
And the Ulster Championship has always been a tough one to get out of, and one where temperatures can run high. Does it help that we've now got a Tyrone team to aim at in there, and the prospect of an All Ireland without Dublin as the reigning champions? Does that make it a little bit easier or a little bit tougher?
Yeah, I think Tyrone have always been a top team, and a team that's any of the teams in Ulster would have had their eyes set on. If you're going to win the Ulster Championship, you typically will have to beat someone like Tyrone. But obviously Armagh, Monaghan, Derry, down with James McCartan coming back in, and McGinley is making great strides with Antrim, and new management, Kieran Donnelly over for Fermanagh. So it's an environment laid with landmines, is the Ulster Championship. But you look at the same time, there's not a lot between the teams in Ulster, and I'm sure that will leads into a lot of teams feeling that there's big potential within their groups, and they can follow on from what Tyrone achieved last summer.
It should be great, and kind of excited already for the start of the new season in 2022. Of course, you've got a long association with Mayo and the team getting to All Ireland finals. We saw a few more PwC All-Star awards for the county on Friday night, including one of them for Lee Keegan. What are your memories of Lee as a manager? Was he as much of a leader in the dressing room as he appears to be on the pitch?
I think the one thing about Lee is that he's earned huge respect from his teammates, those that are involved in from a management point of view, and from his opponents, and that's typically has been delivered by what we've seen on the pitch. What you get on the pitch is what you get on his off field as well. He's energetic. He's very engaging guy, and he's very, very honest. And you get fully is the package. And he'd be, he wouldn't be the type that he wouldn't be giving you the any given Sunday type speech in the dressing room. He is a leader by example, typically in the way he practices and trains. He understands the necessity of putting in those hard miles to be able to reach peak performance. And I think it's testament to him that over the last 8, 9, 10 years consistently he's probably been Mayo's best performer.
And one of the others, of course, who was in the dressing room alongside, who we had in this interview slot a couple of months back, is Andy Moore, who has stepped up now as the inter-county manager with Leitrim. Have you had a chance to chat with Andy at all since he took the reins?
Yeah, so I spoke to him the night of his book launch a couple of weeks ago, and in typical Andy form, he was really, really looking forward to it. He understands the challenge that it certainly brings. But I have one or two mates above in Leitrim, and they're telling me he's getting a great response. from not just the players and the sport, but the full community in Leitrim. And I think that's certainly what was needed. I think they've had quite two very, very difficult and challenging years. And to have a guy of strong reputation in Andy and the performance levels that he is synonymous with over the last couple of years with Mayo, but it's also his character and his energy that he'll bring. And I think he's a great fit for Leitrim. And look, he's going into I suppose an environment in Division 4 that's quite challenging. It's not all. It won't be about all the good days in Croke Park. But he understands that, and he understands that it's a path for learning for him. Because I'm sure down the line he has obviously bigger ambitions with his management journey. But he's certainly looking forward to the opportunity in Leitrim, and wish him the best of luck with it.
Indeed, maybe get his name on the board underneath yours as a manager of his native county. Who knows? We're here to talk about the Goal Mile, and AIB sponsoring it for the first time this year. Have you been a Goal Mile runner in the past, Stephen?
Not as much on the Goal Mile. I think my St. Stephen's days, sporting activities have typically been at the GAA club, playing the married versus singles, or the town versus country. My home GAA club would be Crossmline in North Mayo, and it was part of the sporting calendar, the Stephen's Day get together. But I think as the smaller people in our house have come along, the necessity to get out on Stephen's Day and take in a walk or a jog has certainly become more in that calendar as a parent now. And no, we're looking forward to getting them out of the house and away from maybe chocolate boxes and toys on Stephen's Day to get in a mile, or maybe even more if we can get them to bed on time then on Stephen's night.
It is indeed it's a multi-favoured thing, the Goal Mile as well, because of course you can walk it, run it, crawl it, do whatever you want. Are you going to be doing it in person, because we're back now into the real world as well as the virtual mile as well? How many races or events are taking place, do you know, in your own locality?
So I think there's 3 across Mayo. I'll looking to get over to Claremorris. There's a walk it and running area in Claremorris that I'm looking to be involved with. And look, I think it's not necessarily a case of getting to one of the bigger events. I think it's a case of getting out, if it's along your own runway, or it's a quiet walk area in your own local community. If you can get the 2,000 steps done, and sort of look to support what is a tremendous cause. I think the Goal Mile and Goal as an organisation, you know, it's synonymous with me, even coming up since a kid, since John O'Shea was the founder many years ago. And you know, it's as I said, it's not necessarily about just the big events. Great if you have the availability to do that, but to get out and get your 2,000 steps in, it's a recommendation to put on your Christmas to-do list.
And as you say, all for an incredibly good cause. And just like GAA, it's all about local. So wherever your local event is on, have a look. You can see the entries on how to, or the details on how to enter are on the screen below us at the moment. But for the moment anyway, the very best of luck with next season. The very best of luck with Stephen's Day and getting the kids away from the chocolate Santas. And thank you very much for taking the time to be with us this morning, Stephen Rochford.
Thanks, Rob.